Hey, what's up everybody? It's your girl MissClick. Welcome in. I know it's been a hot minute since I've made a video. Forgive me. YouTube is just craziness right now, on top of Twitch craziness. And as you know, I'm on Twitch literally every day. So if you want to come see me and see this beautiful mug, come stop by Twitch. Wanted to make a video today though, or tonight I guess at this point, about the Game Awards. A lot of people have been asking me about my opinions on the Game Awards, everything that went down. Was it even Game Awards show, really? Like, how do I feel in comparison to previous years? There's a lot in my mind, so enjoy footage of us watching the Game Awards and reacting together. I feel it's a little bit better than just having just me. So enjoy watching two of me. I'm gonna mess with your ADHD here. Anyway, I kind of just wanted to talk about the Game Awards in general and my agreements and disagreements with it. And mainly this comes from the fact that, yes, I stream every day and we get to talk in real time. However, not everybody is in stream at the same time. So often when I am streaming, it becomes more of a slowdown when people are asking the same question 30 to 40 times throughout the course of a stream, and I feel like I'm having to repeat myself. So if you're watching this, it's either because I directed you, or you're here by your own good faith in me for some reason, or you just came here to make fun of me. That's fine. Hi, I love you. Thank you for being here. A view is a view. You know what I'm saying? I guess kind of what I wanted to talk about the Game Awards is this is definitely, I think, the most divided Game Awards we've had, right? This is perhaps the most controversy or upset population I have seen in regards to the Game Awards, not just the Game of the Year, but, you know, kind of how it is as a setup. It's interesting. I feel like beforehand, right, the discussion with the Game Awards was, you know, is there conspiracy with what games are nominated for the Game Awards, and is there really a vote? Does anybody really have a say? And, you know, is the board really just bought out? All this different kind of stuff. And then, you know, after the Game Awards, I feel like we're here at a little bit of a different discussion, right? We're not really talking about what game really won Game of the Year necessarily, which I am personally happy with. So for those of you new, I wanted Sekiro to win. I loved Sekiro. I feel like it is the most all-around game, original game made this year. It's not a remake. It's not just a fighting game, which I love Smash, don't get me wrong. But there are so many things that Sekiro did right that wasn't controversial in any way whatsoever. And then obviously we know Death Stranding. Am I even allowed to say that word here, or am I gonna get hate? I liked the game, and I liked the game. I liked the game, y'all. Just get off. To me, Fire Emblem and Sekiro and Death Stranding were my games of the years, and if any three of those won, that'd be fine with me. Obviously, Fire Emblem wasn't nominated, which is a huge thing in itself. And then we had Death Stranding, which was another huge thing in itself. And then poor Sekiro is just sitting there this whole time throughout all this controversy, just kind of like... And then the whole night, literally no awards, just kind of like nominated. And I was like, oh man, this is gonna get Horizon Zero Dawn treatment. And it didn't. It actually ended up bringing home the Game of the Year. So very, very happy and very excited. But I wanted to move on and kind of talk about the Game Awards itself outside of the Game of the Year announcement. And that is more of people being upset, that it felt like it was a giant promotion of just ads. And like you see here, we have glimpses of course, the gorgeous Sydney. She's helping run the pre-show. And we see what they were doing this year is they just breezed through so many awards. Like, they put them in the pre-show, or they glazed by them like they were nothing, and then we were sat with so many ads. Obviously, if you didn't know already, they are a business, a company. Jeff needs to make money. He needs to make this grow. So money talks. While I understand that as well, it's still so frustrating when you see a lot of things that are supposed to be awards, you know, from developers or from the actual winners themselves, or, you know, even just some of the categories that didn't get much airtime in general. Like, it would have been cool to, like, at least get, like, a backstory on some of the creators who were nominated, or even on some of the games themselves, or just more tributes to the games that were nominated throughout all of this. And we just, you know, I understand people's frustration that it felt like a giant ad. You know, like, you see tons of Magic the Gathering, and even Nintendo had, like, 3 or 4 ads in there. And then there was also mobile games in there, like crazy, and more Magic the Gathering. Like, it was very frustrating, and I understand that, you know, like, I understand the money part, but at the same time, it felt a little unbalanced. And this is no knock whatsoever, but, you know, we just... Next thing I wanted to talk about, which obviously you're gonna see here, is the Ultimate Alliance. Really, and other than that, what was... Shoot, I forgot the other cutesy little game that you guys all were really excited about. Nintendo really only had a couple titles that they kind of brought back or brought out to the Game Awards, and I know a lot of people are really upset about that. For Nintendo, you know, if you have been following anything I've been saying here on my channels, on, you know, Spawncast or anything, I wasn't really expecting much from Nintendo this year, just because I feel like they don't really owe us anything to show. And I know a lot of people are upset, like, well, they got our hopes up from the last couple years, they should have kind of kept the momentum and kept our faith in them. And at the same time, part of me is also like, listen, Nintendo's known for doing unexpected things. We knew that, like, last year, again, we talked about Marvel Ultimate Alliance was dropped at the Game Awards last year without even, like, it was a total surprise. Total surprise. And then we had the year before with Breath of the Wild, and then obviously last year again with Joker. And it wasn't just the fact that it was Smash DLC and we kind of had an inkling of what it was going to be, but it was an Atlas character. And I think that they had so many different shock factors that they wanted to kind of bring in the hype for, that they used the Game Awards as that drive. And I feel like this year, you know, they have a reason for why they did not show up. And I know a lot of people are going to get upset at me about that. And, you know, that's fine. You can be upset at me. And you can totally disagree. That's fine. I think the main point for those of you who have seen my videos before or listened to me talk about this before is you can disagree with me, just don't be a jerk. You are allowed to have a different opinion. It's all on how we handle it, right? So for me personally, what do I think of Nintendo kind of moving on from this? I think that the DLC was, you know, solid. Jean Grey is one of my favorite characters of all time, and it was really a big reason why I personally wanted to buy Ultimate Alliance, and then realizing that Jean Grey is literally not in the game, and I really want her, so I'm hopefully gonna wait and see if they do add her, and in fact they did. So I will probably be picking that game up when it is on sale. And then, you know, also with Bravely Default, excuse me, I now remember the name, Bravely Default, correct? That's the name? Cutesy little series that a lot of people like, and personally it's not my style, but I know a lot of people are really excited about it, and that makes me happy because there's something for everybody. And even if I don't like that genre or that playstyle or that art style, which looked like it looked like Octopath at first, it was cool to see the people still were excited about it, and Nintendo is still delivering titles of variation. No Smash DLC, yes. No Breath of the Wild, yes. No Bayonetta or Metroid. Why do we still think that's gonna be here anytime soon? Literally don't want this to be a Kingdom Hearts thing, and I feel like they realize Metroid was unintentional. Bayonetta, I think they, you know, in a way they've realized that this is gonna be almost not quite a Kingdom Hearts scenario, but close to it, you know, announcing a game a little too early. But we don't know what they have in store, and we don't know what they're dealing with. Obviously, Metroid we do now. We didn't before. January, February is known to be a direct time. Anyway, Breath of the Wild had a random trailer launched in January, so I am not broken that we literally are gonna have the new year start with something awesome. And not only that, we're getting Animal Crossing in the beginning of the year as well. And, you know, it's okay. It's alright. But again, like, see, like, for soundtrack, right? Like, that used to be, like, a feature. Like, you could feature the soundtrack of each game so people could get a glimpse at what it was. But I feel like they just breezed through it. Sorry. There was something else I wanted to talk about. And, yes, kind of the flow of the whole night, outside of the ads and feeling like, you know, for a lot of people, they were just watching cable TV. I mean, it's to be expected that the less popular cable gets, the more the other mediums start needing their money driven, kind of like how cable has worked. And I hope we find a balance to where it doesn't feel like cable all over again. Otherwise, people aren't gonna want to watch a show that feels like they're watching on Spike TV all over again, like back in the day. And, you know, again, viewership will talk. I think if they drive it around to a good balance, it could be worked out well. But the whole flow of the night, in all honesty, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is they ended the game of the year, right? Despite whoever was nominated, they ended the show on Fast and Furious. Like, well, that was so weird to me. Like, that's probably the most expensive thing they had there that whole night, to have those stars there and to kind of cross promote Hollywood stars with gaming. And, you know, I understand that's a really big feat and it's really respectable, but at the same time, I feel like the momentum was just driven backwards a little bit. In my opinion, one of the biggest announcements of the night, one of the things I got most excited for, even if I'm not going to buy it necessarily myself, was the announcement and the reveal of the Xbox Series X. It's literally the upcoming next generation. It's the future of gaming. What better way to end the night than to literally show the next gen coming out next year, you know what I mean? And then end with the game of the year. Besides the fact that the Fast and Furious game did not look like a 2019 game, even a 2010 game in my opinion. Like, besides that fact, it was just a really weird momentum swing in the wrong direction. We got to see the continuation of like Ghost of Tsushima, and we got to see, what else did we even see? Obviously, Resident Evil was announced a couple days before at the State of Play. I would have liked to have seen that as another big hit for the Game Awards, but I guess they just didn't really want to show it there. And I mean, other than that, like, I'm trying to think of what else stood out to me that just was like, oh my god, this is awesome. There were a couple games and a couple trailers we got, you know, of CG trailers. Ultimately, all in all, I would have really just liked to end the night on the Xbox. And it's probably not gonna happen again because it's so much more of a, wow, they got them here with Vin Diesel and Rodriguez is her name. And that's cool and all, but I just feel like overall it felt it was more shoehorned in, you know, and more of an ad. And in a way, and I know a lot of people, I don't know how they feel about this, but for me, if you know anything, how I feel is, man, because gaming's making so much money, you're gonna start seeing more and more people being like, oh yeah, I'm a gamer too, you know, and then like coming in, and oftentimes I just don't want it to start feeling disingenuous in a way, you know, like we're just grabbing these names and saying we're gaming. It is what it is. Otherwise, that's like my main things, kind of like with the whole like quote-unquote cons with the game, like esports and stuff like that. I mean, they're gonna kind of glaze through that, and they have for a while at this point. Like if I'm skipping through Nintendo, you know, they had Bowser that spoke for us, and then Reggie was there, so Nintendo had a presence of some sort, and I thought that was really cool, that even though they weren't showing a bunch of games, they were still there, still supporting the scene, and, you know, still being there, you know, for the gaming community as a whole. And then other than that, the orchestra was solid. They had churches perform, which I thought was cool. It was great. I loved it. I just think with the Game Awards moving forward, it really just comes down to, you know, we have to find a medium of consumers of every year is not going to be the same, and it's okay to have hopes that a game is coming out, but it's another thing to constantly get your expectations always so high. Like, always, how do I say this? It's okay to want a game there, you know what I mean? But to constantly think that everything is going to be the same and always every single year going to be just as surprising, it's a tough thing to accomplish, and or if it is accomplishable, maybe they don't want to be predictable. I think from this point on, it's just kind of seen with the PlayStation what their gen is going to look like, and then what more support is going to be coming out for the new Xbox, and then obviously Nintendo and their next year. Like, I am so excited for next year for games in general, like games like Cyberpunk making an appearance. It's going to be a great year, and I ultimately love these things like the Game Awards, no matter how quote-unquote cookie cutter or advertising they seem, that we're still ultimately all able to come together and celebrate. But at the same time, I understand. Don't necessarily just bat an eye and be like, it's fine no matter what. It was a solid year, in my opinion. There were names that showed up, there was support that showed up, presentation was good still, the production value was still fine, but it wasn't as memorable, in my opinion, as the previous years. I think the most memorable thing to me was the utter shock of me, I think, reacting to the Game of the Year winner, just because we were literally just talking about how Sekiro literally never won. Didn't win an award throughout that night. And it reminded me of Horizon and stuff. I think overall it's the fact that we have the next gen coming at us. Like, that is the coolest thing to think about. And we're gonna be seeing, you know, new games and things unfold for these systems, and whether or not you're gonna jump on board and buy it, it's still cool to know where we're going for the future. So overall, you know, I think it's a good discussion to have with everybody, and I hope we can all remain civil. I think that's kind of all the thoughts I've vomited out. I'm sorry, I usually just ramble on. I realized if I don't just make videos like these, I never end up making videos, and people are like, I'd rather just have you talk and get your thoughts down versus not having them at all. And I apologize for not having as many videos up these last couple weeks. Just Twitch is my thing, and I love you all who have come to support and hang out, and it's great. And we'll have more stuff out for you, but let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below for the Game Awards. What did you like? What did you not like? Please, again, keep it civil. I hate doing moderating in YouTube comments because be adults, yo, you know? I seriously love you though. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out. I'm just rambling on, but you know, this is what you get. Yeah, dude, surprised. So surprised. Get ready for it. Dude, look at this. I was like, oh dear God. And then, oh yes. 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 It's great. It's great. Okay, but seriously, I'm out. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and we will see you around. Hope you have an amazing rest of your December, and I hope that you enjoy the next couple videos that are coming out, and thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Happy gaming, y'all. I love you. Stay awesome, stay beautiful, stay savage. I will see you guys on the flip side. Bye!